Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Imu-sama has the original devil fruit, and when I say original, I don't mean it's the first one to ever exist in human history or anything like that. I mean it's the only fruit that actually holds the true devil's power, with a capital D. Because maybe this devil is a real entity in one piece, not just a dramatic expression like we always thought. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. And honestly, Chapter 1150 made me believe that more than ever. In Chapter 1150, titled Domi Reversi, something absolutely insane happens. Imu, now possessing Gunko's body, which already raises a bunch of questions, stabs Brogy and even shoots his arm like it's nothing. And then comes the part that made my brain do somersaults. Imu invokes a power called Demon's Contract and transforms Dori and Brogy into two giant demons with insane strength and what looks like immortality. And all of it in exchange for just a small portion of their lifespan. And I keep asking myself, what kind of power is this? It doesn't feel like a regular devil fruit. It has rules, a trade-off, a pact. It feels way more like a power with a will of its own, almost like Imu's fruit is an entity. And maybe it is. If you go back to chapters like 1085 and 1086, when Imu shows up on the throne with that weird silhouette, glowing demon-like eyes, and that creepy aura that even scares the Gorosei, we could already tell he was way more than just some shadowy ruler. Back then, we thought he was just pulling strings behind the scenes, like a king in the shadows. But now, it's starting to look like he is the monster in the shadows. And this all ties into how Oda's been building devil fruits up as something possibly mythical, even divine. Remember when the Gorosei revealed that Luffy's Gomu Gomu no Mi was actually the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika? That completely shattered everything we thought we knew about devil fruits. It showed us there's a hierarchy, a hidden history behind them. If there's a fruit of the god of freedom, maybe there's also one tied to the devil of domination. And that technique name, Demon's Contract, it's so on the nose it feels like Oda wasn't even trying to hide it. It's like he's saying, yes, this is the real devil's power you thought was just a metaphor. And that body possession thing, that's not normal either. Until now, devil fruit powers have mostly been physical or elemental, with some rare exceptions like piranhas or laws, which mess with souls or space. But Imu literally takes over Gunko's body. That's next level. And when you add in what happened to Dori and Brogy, it starts to look like his fruit lets him manipulate a person's essence, their life force, soul, lifespan, complete control. Maybe this really is the original devil fruit, the one all the others are just copies or fragments of. Modern fruits might just be diluted versions of this primal power, watered down over centuries. Like Imu's, the only one who actually has the true devil's power in the most literal sense, and that's how he stayed on the throne for so long, maybe even for centuries. Who knows how many bodies he's used by now? So yeah, this idea that he's not just holding some random fruit, but the original fruit, the real devil's power, means it's time to look at how this ability actually works, and more importantly, why it's tied to demons. Because Chapter 1150 makes that crystal clear. Demon's Contract isn't just some fancy phrase. It's basically a giant signature saying this fruit operates on a whole different level, where mysticism and the supernatural mix with soul manipulation, immortality, and turning living beings into monsters. So if I had to guess how Imu's fruit works, I'd say the first thing we can confidently assume is that it has a spiritual nature. Not spiritual like feeling energy with observation hockey. I mean spiritual as in it directly affects the soul, the core of a person. Because to turn someone like Brogy into a demonic creature, you can't just change his body, you have to change what's inside. The way Oda showed this technique was almost symbolic. He doesn't just transform the giants' bodies, he offers them a contract. That's meaningful. It's like the fruit requires an agreement. It won't work just because you want it to. The person has to allow it, has to accept it. And which makes me think that Demon's Contract isn't just some special move, but maybe the core mechanic of the fruit itself, like its true power, only activates when someone agrees to trade something. And what do they give up? Lifespan, vital energy. So maybe the fruit works like this. The more life you offer, the more power you get in return. That opens the door to all kinds of twisted bargains. Imagine someone giving up half their life to become immortal for 100 years. It sounds contradictory, but that's exactly the kind of thing that makes this fruit so dangerous. Because it doesn't force you, it persuades you. And I think that's why it's never been classified. Not even the Gorosei, with all their knowledge, have ever mentioned what type of fruit Imu has. It's a hidden fruit, maybe even erased from history, like the Void Century itself. It might not even be listed in the devil fruit encyclopedias. Maybe because it doesn't have a standard form. Maybe because it changes. Or maybe because it's one of a kind, born from something not of this world. Yeah, this is where things get even crazier. But stick with me. What if this fruit is literally a manifestation of a being that exists outside the human plane? Oda's already introduced gods, and now he's starting to introduce demons. Nika is called the god of freedom, and Imu invokes a demon's contract. The duality is right there. One stands for liberation, the other for submission. One is the sun, the other the shadow, and shadows in One Piece have always been tied to mystery, monsters, and hidden truths. Just look at Thriller Bark, and it's no coincidence that the army Imu creates is called the MMA, the Monsters of Dreams. Because dreams, in this case, might not be good dreams. They might be nightmares. And when we realize he wants to turn the giants of Elbaf into a demonic army, it becomes pretty clear that his goal isn't just physical control, it's spiritual control. He wants to turn people's wills into submission. And that's where I think the scariest part comes in. Maybe he doesn't even need anything other than people's willpower. Like, he doesn't force them. He convinces them. You want power? Just give me a little bit of your life. And that's it. You're his servant now. That's more dangerous than any bomb, more dangerous than raw strength. And the worst part, the demon giants are now the size of oars. So Imu isn't just creating powerful soldiers. He's rebuilding a squad of mythical beings, like he's repeating some ancient cycle. And you know what that reminds me of? That old story about the first devil fruit users being punished by the gods. Maybe Imu was the first one punished. Maybe he made a pact with something forbidden and became what he is now. And now, he's trying to remake that pact with the entire world. And the detail I can't stop thinking about. The Gorosei serve this guy. They don't command him. They fear him. And each one of them is named after a demon god from different mythologies. Saturn, Mars, etc. Which might mean they also accepted the pact at some point. Maybe Imu owns their souls? Maybe his fruit is like a life bank. He collects, stores, and redistributes lives however he wants. That's why he's practically eternal. Not because his body lasts forever, but because he always has a next body ready. Always has another soul to consume. Now, imagine what that means for the end of One Piece. If Luffy is the god of freedom, then he's literally going to have to face the devil of control. And it's not just going to be a fist fight, it's going to be a battle of ideals, of influence. Because if Imu can corrupt even the greatest warriors like Dory and Brogy, then brute force alone won't be enough to beat him. They'll have to break the logic of the pact. They'll have to free the trapped wills. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.